Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. This is the astrological forecast for June 7th through June 13th, 2020. Now, this is a general reading, meaning it applies to as many people as we can get out of roughly 8 billion people. Okay, now, if this does not seem to fit your life, before you say it doesn't work, take a look at the location of your moon, your Mars, and your Neptune, as well as your ascendant. These are all points or planets in your natal chart that may have a direct impact. If you don't know what they are, check your natal chart or contact me at one of the locations below. Okay, and I'll be happy to look it up for you. Absolutely no problem there. So with that in mind, let's get started, shall we? First card is for the overview. And we have the Four of Cups. Now the Four of Cups indicates that there is new information coming to light, that you really have to look outside your normal viewpoints. Take a look at things that you've been overlooking, that you've been possibly saying are inconsequential or really don't matter. It's the little things that will make the big difference in this case. Okay, and it does show that all you have to do is open your eyes. Talk to people that may not be in your normal circle. Okay, because the people that you're around all the time are the one, they'll see pretty much the world in a lot of ways the same way you do for the most part. So don't be afraid to, that's easy to say, don't be too quick to go because they're outside my field of socializing that they don't know what's going on. Okay, now Aries. Aries, we have the Knight of Wands. This means, much as there's a lot of change going on, take your time. Be careful that you don't jump in without looking. This does show there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of shifting that has to happen. Okay, and don't forget, this is not just a question of, it's not just a question of work that's got to be done. It's a question of doing it carefully, not necessarily cautiously. That's up to you, but think things through before you jump on them. Now, when we look at Gemini, no, not Gemini, at Taurus. Taurus shows the Empress. Now it's inverted. Again, it does mean that much as things have been planted, much as you've got the different ideas on the go, you likely have a number of different projects on the go at the same time. Okay, what it's showing you is the seeds have been planted. It's going to take some time to bring them to the surface. Just like planting a garden, you put the seeds in, water it, make sure the fertilizer's all in place, do your regular weeding, and the plants will come up. Okay, now this may be referring to either a new project you're starting or you've been working on something for a while and it's coming to the surface now. Now, of course, when we look at Gemini, we have the Death card. Do not look at this quite in the same way that you might be thinking death most people worry about. Death itself, because it's inverted, does not mean the death of a person. It means the death of a situation or the death of a path you've been on. Okay, basically it boils down to change. So take your time with it. Okay, and understand with death means one thing is ending so another can begin. Okay, now Cancer. Cancer, we have, with Cancer we have the Eight of Pentacles inverted. This shows that you are learning new projects. They are probably coming out of the past, new skills. These are probably things that you've put aside and are now refreshing your memory. Like, for instance, let's say you were in school and you were taking an accounting course, but you totally ignored it, and now you're getting back into the idea of tracking where your finances are going. This is an old skill. It's just something else that's coming to the surface. Okay, that's being reinstituted. It's kind of like along the lines of riding a bike. It's something you may have done before. It's not, but it's like with riding a bike. You don't forget how to do it. You just get a little rusty. Okay. Now, Leo. Leo, we have the Emperor. This shows it is time to really take control of your life. Take a look at what's going on around you, especially the things you've been overlooking or been ignoring. Okay, the Emperor does show this is the time for you to step back into the spotlight and go, okay, I desire my life to go in this direction, so I'm going to make it go there. Do not make the mistake of letting people that are not aware of the situation, okay, go. No, you can't do that. Can't is just a bad idea to look at. Yep, still tired. 10 to 5 in the morning, my time. Now, we have Virgo. Now, Virgo with the ace inverted shows you've been working on a lot of different projects. Kind of think of the Ace of Wands as a bunch of little tributaries leading into a major stream. The path is already laid out. All the bits and pieces are coming together, and they're all flowing in the same direction, or the most of them. You are working towards a final goal. Okay, and it is showing there's light at the end of the table. At the end of the tunnel. More often than not, this, for me anyway, this means sometime within the next 2 to 3 months, a major project you've been working on or a major goal you've had is making a break point where it's going to pull together. Now, don't forget, this shows a major stream, but all major streams, especially when we look at energy, they all lead to yet a bigger one. Okay, so this could be a major breakthrough that's coming up in a situation you've been dealing with. Now, with Libra, okay, Libra is showing the Page of Pentacles. This shows you that there is money going that you're going to have to lay out, but it also shows if you think things through, you'll be able to maintain control of it. Now, we talk about money most of the time when we're dealing with the Pentacles. We could be talking about just energy. So what that means is be certain that you don't overextend yourself from an energetic standpoint. Okay, make certain that you pace yourself. Don't try and get everything done at once. It doesn't work as well as you might think. Where it comes to Scorpio, we have the Eight of Pentacles. I lied. Well, mistaken. The Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles indicates that you've been working on a project for a long time, but now new things are coming into light. Kind of like when you've planted plants, planted a hedge, and it's growing and everything's going fine, and then you notice this little bud popping up and a little flower starting to grow. Okay, it's a turning point where what you've been working on is coming into fruition. And that always leads to something else. Going with the idea of the hedge, as the flowers pop up and now the insects come in, you get your pollination and more things start to change. Okay. Now, when we look at Sagittarius, Sagittarius shows the Five of Pentacles, or Five Pentacles. I am really doing that well. The Five of Cups inverted. As odd as this is going to sound, this indicates celebration coming your way. A breakthrough in a real emotional barrier that you've been fighting with. This is likely referring to taking a look at a relationship you've been dealing with that's been very stressful, been very complicated. This could be an intimate relationship, a family relationship, or even a situation at work. In any event, it does show it does indicate a change in the situation where you're seeing new light in it. Okay, this is a good thing. It means that a lot of the struggle that you're going through is coming to a close. Okay, now, whatever you do, especially where it comes to work, be aware. If you're having struggles at work, do not make the mistake of just up and quitting work unless you've got a replacement income. Okay, and I realize it can be really, really difficult to stay where you are. Okay, but the difficulty really comes when you find yourself with no income. Okay, now, Capricorn. Capricorn shows the page of the Page of Swords inverted. This shows that communication has some barriers in it. Step back, really listen to the situation around you. Listen to what's being said because you may be overlooking something. So take your time and really have open communication with those close to you. This is your time to really take a look at the hidden information and get it out in the open so you can see what you're dealing with. Where it comes to Aquarius, Aquarius shows the Four of Pentacles inverted. This shows a major positive shift in the finances, in the material world around you. Meaning what you've been hanging on to really tight, it's starting to move where you're going to be able to loosen up a little. And I do encourage you to keep one thing in mind. Money, energy, air, it all falls under the same idea. There's a lot of it out there, and it doesn't do any good if it sits in one place. Okay, money is constantly flowing. So if you think in terms of, well, I don't have a lot of money, what you're doing is looking at it a little backwards. And what I mean by that is the money is out there. You have money. When you spend it, it goes to somebody else. That makes their life move a little. They spend it somewhere. And whoever they spend it on, it gets distributed amongst the workers there. And then the money has a tendency of coming back. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is the time to really get focused on the idea that there is enough money out there for everybody. You just have to remember it's available so it will come to you. Now, when we look at Pisces, Pisces shows the Strength card. This shows, especially with it being a major time of change, a major time of awareness where new things are coming into view, and you're starting to get a wider view of what's going on. The Strength card shows you that love is going to bring things together. Do not buy into the fear that you're seeing out there. This is a time to really understand that everybody around you is connected. They're all caught up in the same kinds of situations. And they all share a number of things in common with everybody, not the least of which is the air you breathe. Okay, the air you breathe, drew a blank on that one. The air you breathe, the money you're using goes out to everybody. Granted, some people get more of it than others, but they figured out how to draw it. And the first rule of drawing finances to you and drawing a change in the material world is by realizing that it is literally right there. It's just out of reach. So instead of reaching for it, call it to you. Accept the fact that that money is going to come back. There is no shortage of it. Okay, and yes, I realize if you're having trouble with finances, that's going to be a struggle to get through your head. But it's all out there. Okay. Now, the wrap-up card. Okay, with all of the horror of the astrological forecasts I do, I always have one at the beginning and then one at the end that applies to everybody. Well, the Fool card shows that you are, if you follow karmic law, you are being taken care of. You may not see how it works, but you are being looked after. If you're breaking karmic law, this can cause its own complications because karmic law will come back and bite you. That's where we're standing for today, actually for this week. So with that in mind, I'm going to call it short here. Be sure to like my video. Okay, I am really scrambling this one today. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and pass this on to the people around you. Thank you very much. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And for pity's sakes, stay positive.